In honor of the NJSIA Fall Officials Appreciation Week, we encourage all of our athlete coaches and fans, again, to thank all of our officials for their efforts. None of Vineland High School athletic events will be possible without the officials. Let's hear it for the officials today.
So is this good where I'm at right now? Alright, got it. Like the camera mics?
Presenting our nation's colors today are members of the Vineland High School Air Force Junior ROTC. Clan fans, let's welcome our very own Vineland High School football team! Head coach of the Highland Tartans is Mr. Sean Daniels. Head coach of the Fighting Clan of Vineland is Mr. Jose Guzman. Welcome to Highland Tartans. At this time, we ask that everyone please rise. Vineland will be receiving you to start the game. Everyone, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem by the Vineland High School Marching Clan. Clan fans, are you ready for some football? And again, the concession stands are open.
Good afternoon, Vineland High School football fans, and welcome to Historic Gittone Stadium as we are getting set for homecoming here for your fighting clan. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa here in the booth with you. And Rich, from all of our research, we believe this is a first-time meeting between Vineland High School and Highland here on homecoming Saturday. It's always a great event here at Vineland High School with Miss Monogram, with every board member, every superintendent, all the staff here ready to celebrate Vineland High School, and hopefully Vineland ready to bounce back following their bye and looking for a big-time win.
That was my parade wave. Had to do a little banking, and I saw everybody out there around 10 in the morning. So floats in the parade and the band marching down Landis Avenue, a tradition that's been going on for like ever. I can remember back in the late 70s watching as a kid the parade go by with the floats and everything. So we have a beautiful day for it, 69 degrees with a light breeze coming out of the east. First time for these two teams. It won't be the last, as they're in the same conference now, at least this year and next year. Every 2 years they regroup. But this Highland team comes in, and they've struggled some, but they've not struggled running the ball. Makai Brown, their lead running back, just under 1,000 yards at 940, averaging 6.9 yards per carry. And Highland likes to run it more than pass it, about 70% run, 30% pass. For Vineland, coming off their defeat 2 weeks ago, they managed only 2 yards rushing, and that's going to be, can Vineland rush the ball? The line's done a good job holding up for the passing, and the passing game has improved.
And we are underway here on the squib kick. Vineland receives it. It's Omar Davis who scoops it up, and Vineland, much better starting field position than they had against Atlantic City. They'll start just outside the 45-yard line. And we'll see this Vineland offense led by Elijah Calderon go to work here and try to bounce back from, and we mentioned this on Guzman's Gridiron, myself and Coach Guzman this week on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. You can tune in each and every week throughout the season. That Atlantic City game, the box score didn't tell the whole story of the game. There was a lot of unfortunate bounces and everything, but I know Elijah has been chomping at the bit to get back out here on the field and showcase his talent. So here goes Vineland.
Kind of a busted play there, timing not there on that first one as the ball's bobbled a little bit. Calderon, 56 completions out of 91 attempts, 613 yards, 6 TDs. So, I mean, last week, the only yards, or 2 weeks ago, last game, the only yards were through the air. And to be able to mix it's going to go a long way in helping this team. And it's identifying what we do, how we can get 2 or 3 yards per carry is what this line's going to have to figure out.
So 2nd and 15 now after the loss of 5, and
Calderon at the bottom.
Charles Clark takes the snap again. It's handed off to Xavier Diaz, and nothing there once again. Back-to-back plays, the snap goes to number 6, Charles Clark.
Just doesn't seem like full speed when you have an interior D lineman, not the guy on the edge, the guy from the middle, keeping pace with the back. I know it's hard to find a place to go, but it's got to be full speed. Those motion, that jet motion, the idea is to get the ball in the guy's hand when he's at full speed, and it's just not operating that way. So 3rd and long.
3rd and 17 now from the 36. They get Highland to jump. So they'll pick up 5 yards there.
Still 3rd and long. I don't know if I would have used that then. You kind of like to hit it for the first time when you need 5 or less.
So it's It's almost like that first play didn't happen. It's now 3rd and 12. Calderon finally takes a snap of his own, completes it to Rayon Carter, who turns upfield up past midfield, and it's going to be close. We'll see where they spot it.
And what a great job drawing the offsides to get the first down by a yard. So through the air, Vineland converts it.
They give Vineland the first down. That's great yards after the catch there by Rayon Carter to turn upfield and be able to get the ball to where it needed to be. And we've talked about this on the broadcast. We talked about it on the podcast as well. Rayon Carter, week over week, has just gotten exponentially better game after game after game, and his talents have certainly been on display in this offense, and he's earned it.
Well, we got a fullback.
They'll pitch it to Charles Clark, who's got plenty of real estate. Open field, Charles Clark picks up a first down and more down at about the 30-yard line.
Led up by Phoebus, the fullback, who makes a really nice block, pushing the defenders back, allowing extra yards.
That's where Charles Clark is most dangerous. Give him that open field, nobody's going to be able to catch him. Mutcherson, the man in motion. It's pitched to Clark on the opposite side. A good block. Clark trying to find that edge and gets taken down just shy of the 25.
Yeah, kind of tried to get out wide, but the block was set for him to plant and up the field, but still picks up good yards on first down. You know, and maybe that's that little bit the offense needs to be able to run the football. Is a fullback, and it's been Phoebus as like a wing or fullback in that set, and you know, he's going to lead you to the ball, and that's fine. If he's going to make the block, he's taking the guy out, and he's been able to do that so far.
2nd and 6 now for Vineland.
Oh, under center.
Man in motion. They hand it off to Clark. Finds a hole and gets taken down right around that first down marker.
What could have been a 3 and out with a 3rd and 17. Vineland gets the offsides, converts, and now they're starting to move on the ground. You know, that was the big question coming in.
They mark it 3rd and 1 at the 22 here. So Clark checks out, and I believe Omar Davis checked in. That he did. Fullback stays in.
Oh, he's coming.
And it's Phoebus.
Just needed a yard for the first, and looks like he's right on the marker, and that's going to be good enough. Good enough for a Fighting Clan first down. I don't mind that when I go, but I hate make some noise, and the fake whatever that thing's called that measures the noise. And I'm like, oh my gosh! Like when I was 5, I thought, oh my God, if I clap louder, we're gonna get it. It gets annoying every 3rd down. You could be down 30 or up 30, and it's 3rd down. Every stadium you go to, you can see it.
It's funny. Oh, Highland jumps again, so Vineland will get another 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 16 now.
Well, you got Highland's defense trying to sell out to stop the run. The inside linebackers are right up on the ball, which you don't need to change what you're doing right now, but it seems like they need to sell out to try to stop it, and then that'll open up the lateral passing game. So Carter's run after catch keeps all this going.
Mutcherson in motion. And a swing pass to Mutcherson. Brings it upfield, gets taken down.
Boy, pretty creative offense with the extra week off. We had motion to a set and then circling back out where you came from.
A couple direct snaps to the running back as well. You had Calderon lined up as a wide receiver. He's 2nd and about 2.
Long drive, not the longest of the year. That's an Eastern, like, 10-minute drive to start the game. A long drive for Vineland, mostly on the ground.
They hand it off to Omar. Barrels his way through.
Looks like he's going to have a first down, and he does right around the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal.
Ball spotted at 9.
They spot the ball at the 9-yard line. Calderon fires, and it's off the hands.
Pass attempted incomplete. It was a 2nd goal.
Good ball, tight window, bullet thrown in there by Calderon.
Mutcherson, the intended receiver there. Be 2nd and goal now from the 9.
Gotta call time, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Vineland had too many people in the huddle. I was surprised we didn't get a flag.
Once again, we congratulate the Vineland Athletics 2025 Hall of Fame inductees Tess Fisher.
Vineland hopefully able to pop this in. Then on defense, the challenge is going to be stopping that run. Last game, Vineland gave up 234 yards on the ground.
To Vineland High School's girls cross country team.
They weren't facing the back like they're facing today.
They've won it for the last 3 years.
Very impressed with the motion and creativeness of the offense on this drive. It's been really good. And you're watching a defense that they line up, and then our guy goes to the backfield, and they look over, what do we do? And then he's in motion again. And it's really keeping them out of balance with our offense.
So Fanador checks in on offense here. Kind of that hybrid tight end position, number 9 on your screen. Clark keeps it, but Highland sniffs that one out.
Ball catch was 6, stopped by number 7. They lost one other play.
A lot of times you're like, oh, we're in the red zone, and you're like, oh, good, we're about to score. But the field gets so compressed that when you're sitting there at the 10-yard line, you got 11 guys within 20 yards of the ball as compared to when you're not deep in the red zone. So there's a lot more bodies to deal with. And a big 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 10.
Big hole, get out to the
Hand it
left.
off to Clark. He turns upfield, and he's got all the real estate in the world. There is a flag, but for now, Charles Clark is into the end zone with a touchdown for the Fighting Clan.
Yeah, flag probably is on for sportsmanlike conduct, is celebrating, pumping the ball in the air on the way in was too much in that official's opinion. We do have a Highland player down on the field right now. You know, we had a great angle of that hold. He was looking in, and I was like, oh, just go to the left. And nobody was able to touch him. That's big because, you know, if you don't get anything there, it's 26-yard field goal into about, I'm looking at the 7 mile an hour breeze in your face. And we all know between blocking, snap, hold, and kick, there's a lot that goes into play. So outstanding job getting in there. Great blocking on that drive. We started by saying we had 2 yards rushing last week, and the challenge was the line. Are you going to be able to run block? And they've done an outstanding job on that first drive.
So the touchdown is good, and with 3:50 to go in this opening quarter, it's 6-0 Vineland, and like Rich mentioned, there is a Highland player down on the field getting worked on. Hopefully he's okay.
When they start bending that toe, it's a little cramping, so he may be okay, but I'm sure his coach is going to be screaming at him, what have I told you the last 2 days? But on that touchdown play, it's the same thing. Vineland comes out, then they switch their formation. Highland follows late and gets set. Then the back motions, or the slot receiver motions back to where he was. And you've got them thinking, what's my job, instead of keying on one read. Good job, offense, and Coach Hendricks and the staff just did a great job. It's almost like you can see they had a week off to get some work in, unlike in the NFL, where a week off means a week off. The coaches may work, but everybody else is, oh, good, I'll see you next week.
Ball spotted, kick is up, and it is good. So with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter, it's 7-0 Vineland. And Rich, I got to say, that's one of the more complete drives we've seen after facing a little adversity too. We talked about, oh, look, starting field position is where Vineland typically likes to have it. They get pushed back. They get that hard count there, and then they go up the field, and it, like you said, was all sparked by Rayon Carter turning upfield and picking up that first down. A great drive for the Fighting Clan to start this football game.
Let's see, if I was coaching, he would have came up 5 yards just short of a first down, and we'd have been punting. Yeah. Then Highland jumps off on their own earlier or later in that drive too, so you can get them again.
One of the things I talked to Coach Guzman about last week and this week on Guzman's Gridiron was, all 3 wins for Vineland this year have come via the shutout. All 3 losses have come when they've surrendered points on defense. How do you find that perfect balance of, hey, even if a team scores on us, we can still win a football game? And I think that's going to be the message in these final 2 regular season games that we see that are on the schedule right now between Highland and obviously next week against Cherry Hill West. But finding that balance of, even if you give up points, you can still win a football game. And we'll see what happens today as we see Cliff Smith's defense going back out there, obviously trying to pitch the shutout, but you got to be prepared for everything as Highland returns this one close to the 40-yard line. And we'll see that defense that Cliff Smith has had a little more than a week to get prepared and ready to run rampant here against the Highland offense.
So Highland likes to grind it out, run the football, as I mentioned, 70% of the time. They're only averaging 12 points a game, so they're fine just plowing forward, taking some time off the clock, possess the football, and rely on Nakai Brown, the running back.
This one's handed off. We'll get a couple, but a nice stop there. Phoebus in.
Pick up a 3 on play. We just second down, about 7 yards ago for the first. Ball spotted at 43.
It's be 2nd and 7. He picks up 3 on the carry. Hand it off again, and Vineland is there to make the stop.
I don't know if that was a design reverse pivot because it didn't make much sense, but Great job by the defense. Now you hold them 3rd and long, something they don't want to have to do, throw the ball.
3rd and 12 now from the 38 for Highland. Vineland leading 7-0, courtesy of Charles Clark.
It's Elijah Capra, the quarterback, who has 1 touchdown this year and 9 interceptions. Completes about 50%, 58 for 120, 366. And there's a funky bunch of 4 down at the bottom. They're going to go up top.
Swing pass to the outside. And Vineland is all over it.
Great job, defense. Way to get it started.
We need our good friend Tom McGurk or Mark Tribble to do a little research here. When's the last time we've had a quarterback matchup of Elijah versus Elijah?
True that. Hey there, Elijah. That's Delilah.
So 4th and 11, they pick up a yard there on the swing pass.
I think they got 10. Here comes 11. I put a little pressure on that outside guy on the top.
Funky snap, and it's almost blocked. Great pressure there from the Vineland special teams, and Vineland will have great field position yet again to start this drive with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in this first quarter.
I think he must have got a little bit of the football, right? Because when the punter brought his leg through, it kicked us in the belly, and we didn't get a penalty. But so much pressure on him from the top of the screen, and we'll know we can do that again.
Ball's at the 44 here to start this drive for Vineland. They have a 7-0 lead. Calderon under center, man in motion. He pitches it to Clark. Clark just couldn't turn up field on that run.
Yeah, the defender did a good job holding up the blocker, and our blocker finished it and made the block, but it was just like a half a second too long to secure that block, because there's a lot of room to run outside of there.
Just got a message from Ron Temple that he was unable to play today, but he is watching. So shout out to Ron Temple watching on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. Swing pass there out to Diaz, and he gets it to about that original line.
Nice open field tackle. Just where we want to be, 3rd and long.
And that'll do it for the first quarter here. Homecoming weekend. Vineland leading 7-0 over Highland. We'll take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. You're watching Varsity Football right here on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. here at Gittone Stadium. Vineland on offense as Calderon passes, completes it, and just shy of the first down. To Noah Cruz. Vineland leading 7-0. The lone touchdown came via Charles Clark on their first drive on offense. So it's 4th and 1. And Vineland's going to go for it here, it looks.
Yeah, the offense still there.
We've seen Vineland do the tush push in weeks past. It wouldn't shock me if that's a potential plan here. But they line up in the eye, and there it is.
I love that, going on first sound instead of going through your cadence. That first sound, boom, catches them on their heels a little bit. And great support on the push part of that. As the Tartan line has stood them up right there until the push comes along. And
great shove there by Phoebus.
yeah, I like that better than any fullback dive when it's that short.
It's less exchange of the football, and you don't have to worry about that side of turning the ball over. And
the running back has 2 steps to take forward to get
right
to where the quarterback was. So fresh set of downs for the Fighting Clan.
And in motion is Mark Mutcherson. Calderon swings it, and it's complete. And the whistle sounds.
Boy, that's the second play in this drive where so close to busting it. You know, when you're able to see everything that's going on down there, they let the top side come. So it's basically like a screen, but a swing screen. So half the team's behind them.
Pass was completed to George Figueroa III. About a yard gain there, so 2nd and 9. Figueroa stays in. Calderon, a lot of pressure, and he's taken down.
Quarterback brought it down in the backfield by number 6 and number 7.
Yeah, he tried to slide over in the pocket, but there was pressure on that side, and they had him boxed in.
Ball was about 50. 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15 now. Loss of 6 on the sack. Calderon in shotgun. You got trips bunched to the top of your screen. He's looking to pass. He fires.
Oh, almost.
And it's incomplete off the hands of Mark Mutcherson. A little contact there, but not enough to draw the flag, and that'll be 4th down.
Yeah, not enough on that for the first. Would have been, if he was able to haul that in, 4th and 5, and Vineland probably would have went for it. So now right at midfield. Highland should not get much good field position out of that, and that's a big mouthful. Might not get much good. Sorry to my English teachers.
Solid punt. Goes out of bounds just ahead of the 20-yard line.
That's my favorite part. Is he going to fall over the cliff? Needed that official at that Phillies game on Bohm's fair ball down the right field line. And of all people for that to happen to, you know. I was rooting for a Subway series, but doesn't look like that's going to be happening.
Do want to congratulate our girls cross country team. I know Mr. Shields announced it a little bit earlier, but they won the county championship earlier this week. So congratulations to our girls. My cousin Aubrey Harrell on that team as well.
Nice
Taken
job.
down by Noah Cruz. I believe I saw our boys cross country team came in second at their side of the county meet, so congratulations to our cross country teams this week.
Boy, they pulled 2 guys to lead block that, and the pursuit from the inside didn't even let them get there, but both guys hitting 1 defender, and we held our ground. You know, that's something like you get trapped. You know, coach will tell you, just try to hold your ground. It's better to go down than to get pushed out. You know, create a pile. And we didn't even have to go down. He just strong-shouldered it.
2nd and 15 here for Highland. They hand it off, but Vineland's all over it and taken down.
I'll tell you what, that's not helping his 7 yards of carry much today. Vineland's got him held for negative yards the whole team so far.
I believe that was Mason Afanador who made the stop. He's been an anchor on that defense and across all 3 phases of the team this year. I did talk to Coach Guzman this week, too, about Noah Cruz and how he is just, you know, last year it felt like, okay, Noah Cruz is kind of coming to his own, and this year he's taken that to a new level. And I said, you know, does the defense kind of go as Noah goes? He's that anchor and the brain of the defense, playing that middle linebacker position. Does it take a lot of pressure, as we get a timeout from Highland, does it take a lot of pressure off of the secondary, knowing that, you know, they can kind of see the way that Noah's going, that linebacker crew is going? That way they can kind of play a little bit more loose. And he said, you know, Noah's been that star this year, and when you see he's getting in the backfield and making tackles, and that energy that he brings permeates through the defense, it just gives everyone else that additional confidence and swagger.
Especially knowing everybody's job and where they're at, formerly a defensive back. So he has that, and it's always nice, you know, when you can lean over and say, what are we doing on this? Well, I got this right, and you have somebody you can check with. When Coach Parentazzi either played offense or defense, you couldn't do both. When he finally broke down and had me and Tony Hall both playing offense and defense along with Steve Rizzo, I was near Rick Bernozzi, one of my buddies, and I like, Rick, he's like, if I say an odd number, you're hitting this. If I say, I'm like, listen, I just want you to point at the guy. I don't care if he knows. Have a secretary at school always listens to the game, and I wore my Vineland, Chrissy, I wore my Vineland pullover to school Friday at Bridgeton, and she informed me she has a rooster tattoo.
There we go.
So we're like incognito all year, but she doesn't miss a broadcast. Oh,
Little spin move there. They complete the pass.
yeah, oh, what a tackle, Much.
Mark Mutcherson stops him in his tracks on 3rd and 19, so that'll bring out the punt team for Highland here on 4th down.
But that's that team speed. Because if you can't catch him, he's probably going to get close to a first down on that. Just outstanding pursuit.
Picks up 8 on that, but it's 4th and 11.
Remember the last one we nearly blocked from the defensive left, which is bottom of the screen there.
Low punt. And it's off the hands of Xavier Diaz, but he picks it up.
Nice
Brings
block.
it up past the 40, runs into a man and is taken down there. Thought he was going to do a little Deshaun Jackson miracle at the Meadowlands there, bobble the snap and then take it to the house, but a nice return there and recovery by Xavier Diaz.
Seems like that's always the case. You get people out of their lanes and some more great field position, starting field position, best of the day here.
38 yards to go for the touchdown.
Great job by the defense. I mean, that's about where the first down marker was, maybe like the 36 before. So
Calderon hands it off. Clark lost his footing there a little bit. A flag flies in.
Flag of the play.
Weird, it came from the back judge. They usually don't catch much holding unless you're upfield. Yeah, let's put that baby away. There we go.
Flag's been waved off and second down.
That really bothers me.
Second and 10.
Whether I'm watching
Yeah.
or whatever. You threw the flag, bust the foul. You know, unless you're talking about a intentional grounding or illegal touching.
So 2nd and 10 here. And ball was on the ground. Calderon falls on it.
Heard that thud by lead blocker Phoebus there.
Third down and 12 yards to go.
Mason Fanador checks in. But hey, at least we don't have the referees that were calling that Bills-Jets game on Monday night. Flags every other play. Finally calls a timeout here with 5:10 to go until halftime.
Just a reminder about halftime today. Remember at halftime today,
Yeah, I know we haven't like popped it open yet, but so many times it's one guy here, a little bit of a delay there. There's openings to get the ball through and running, so it's just a matter of time.
Recognize some more very, very important people here to our district. First of all, our athletic director, Mr. Sylvester Sugalio.
And a reminder, it will be more of an extended halftime today as it is homecoming, and they'll be crowning this year's Miss Monogram winner. Always a fun event here at Vineland High School.
Mr. Joe Pettit.
Coach Guzman looks like he's shrinking. He's lost some weight there. Good job, Jose. So a few games ago, he had a couple words about me saying how he's walking at a different pace.
So 3rd and 12 here for Vineland. Calderon going to pass. He's firing deep.
Oh, nice
And
catch.
Completes it to Mason Afanador for the first down.
Boy, way to get up there, Mason, and high point that football. It's a half a body above the defender and brings it down right on the sideline.
That was like a Mike Evans-esque catch. So you always see Mike Evans, the type of receiver, going up to make that catch. Both hands, like you said, high pointing the ball, making sure that the defender has no shot of interfering with you making the catch. A great catch there on the sideline by Mason Fanador. So 1st and 10 here for Vineland from the 11-yard line. Clark lost his footing there.
Not much for him if he would have held on to his footing there as the Tartans were through. Yeah, and to stay in the pocket like Calderon did on the play before, he took a shot. The line held up, but, I mean, they had to hold up for a while to get the ball down there and to stay in, take the shot, deliver the strike. Yeah, and just because you're saying, oh, there's some pressure. Well, sometimes they send more than you can block, or they send 3 in an area where we got 2. So you're going to be under pressure. Doesn't mean something's not working up front. But an outstanding job by the freshman QB.
And they get Highland to jump again. So they'll recoup the yards there that were lost by Charles Clark. And a couple extra.
Coach on defense.
Second and 8 now.
What a fast-moving game. The first quarter took 22 minutes.
Fanador, the man in motion. They pitch it out. Trying to get upfield, and he does, and barreling his way forward. Nice. Down at the 1.
That's a highlight reel finish. Oh, just diving towards the end zone and landing right on top of the guy tackling you.
Another great run from Charles Clark here in this first half. Just heard somebody in the crowd. Can we get a tush push? So it'll be Clark lining up under center. And they're going to tush push the running back into the end zone.
Good. Mix it up a little bit. Clark got you down there. Good job, line, on that drive. And guess what? We can run the football.
His second touchdown on the afternoon. And with 4:01 to go here in this first half, Vineland has a 13-0 lead pending the extra point attempt. Ball snapped, spotted, kick is up, and it's good. So with 4:01 to go here until halftime, it's 14-0. Fighting Clan with the lead. The Charles Clark game so far.
Yeah, and when you have a third down, there's two really big third downs. You know, the 3rd and 12 that was converted on the first drive, 3rd and long again, and you pop one down inside the 10 or to about the 10. Big conversions on 3rd down, power running.
And I think in that game against Atlantic City a couple weeks ago, too, when things started to not go Vineland's way, you kind of saw Calderon kind of, you know, struggling a bit to try to make more than enough happen and was trying to do a little too much. Today he looks poised. You know, he took the 1 sack, and that's really been the only blemish there for this Vineland offense.
Yeah, and like I say this all the time, everybody, but the score wasn't indicative. It was 7-0 at the half. 2 pick sixes, one off a chest plate.
One directly off the tip of the hand into the teammate's hand to run it back for 6.
Yeah. Yeah, and then being behind bad field position for your defense to defend from.
And that 7-0 came on a 4th and long down here on their first drive.
And Atlantic City, one of the favored teams in Group 5. They're seeded number 2, and they'll probably stay there. So you're sharing your freezing Miss Monogram pageant that you were involved in. Got to get a little hard to sit in that same spot, right? For the first half, like, it's a lot. Well, at least it's beautiful out.
Our homecoming games used to still be those Friday nights, late in the season. 35 degrees with wind chill late in October.
Yeah, back in the mid to late 80s when I was playing, I can remember one Willingboro, JFK High School. One Friday night game is all I can recall.
Squibbed on the ground, off the hands. It'll be down inside the 30. Yeah, it is funny looking back at Miss Monogram, too. My brother-in-law and I graduated the same year. He and I were both escorts in 2011 for Miss Monogram, and then my sister ends up being a finalist for Miss Monogram as well. So it was a whole family full circle thing there.
And back then you didn't know he's your brother-in-law.
Right.
So were you friends with your brother-in-laws in high school?
We grew up together.
Oh,
We've known
okay.
each other since we were like 6, 7 years old, playing soccer at Vineland Soccer Association, and then
What a good friend you are. Everybody
Yeah.
like, don't talk to my sister.
First and 10 here for Highland from the 28-yard line.
Just a little bit left in the half. See if they're even going to try
Low
anything here.
snap and taken down. Donnie St. Jean and Mark Mutcherson in there on the takedown. And Coach Guzman mentioned this to me earlier this week too and said, you know, Highland is a team, they'll set up on offense, wait to see what the defense presents to them, and then look over to the sideline to get the play called in. Very Chip Kelly, Oregon-esque without the cartoon signs and everything up, but I just noticed it on that play. Everyone was set up, and then I saw the quarterback looking over, getting the play called into him.
It was funny. Coach Heck, who coached here, and of course Millville's head coach, coached me wrestling, baseball, and football. And our baseball signals had nothing to do with the nonsense he did. It was if his brother had a bat in his hand, it was in one hand it was bunt, in two hands it was swing away. Hands in his pockets were steal. Like, it had nothing to do with the nonsense going on. So second and long, Vineland's going to send some pressure, and it looks like Vineland crossed the line. I didn't see anybody move on the Highland side. Oh, it is procedure. Oh, good job, guys.
False start on Highland.
We picked up a little twitch we couldn't see from up here. So we just used one timeout so far, right?
I believe so. Yep.
Reminded me of Coach Parentazio as I leaned over. I'm like, ugh.
Well, it does indicate on the scoreboard that we have one timeout left, so might have used two. And another flag on Highland.
Oof.
Pushing back far enough, let's add another safety to this team's resume this year.
Hit two in a game.
Second and 25 now, I believe.
It's demoralizing for the offense. You know, one that likes to run.
Mm-hmm.
One false start penalty really puts you out of sync with what you want the offense to do. See if they want to, you know, the one time where Mutcherson made a nice tackle where they bellied the guy back underneath for a pass.
So it's second and 25 from the 13. Trips bunch, or actually quad bunch to the top of the screen as Highland fires, and it's incomplete. Kind of surprised there was no OPI there. Receiver was kind of pushing off.
Yeah, thrown out of bounds. Great coverage on the play.
It's be third and 25 now.
The receiver's going to take him. He's going down. He was gimping about a little bit. So Vineland's, they're able to hold here. The two punts haven't been good. Maybe the first one wasn't blocked the way the second one came out. But yeah, it's not a plus punting game, at least based off the first two kicks. So you got to figure Vineland can hold this play. They'll be starting probably inside the 40-yard line with that one timeout. Was it last Saturday? Some great college games. I don't know if you were watching. Crazy finishes. I get them all lumped together. But, you know, the clock stops when they move the markers, and there was 1 second when it stopped, and there's no way, when they blow the whistle, it's it. Like, you can't spike it.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I asked Coach Goose on the podcast this week the situation that happened between Oregon and Ohio State when you see the extra defender run out on the field to kind of get the penalty, to get the clock running again. And he was like, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. And
yep. Yeah, and just real, not that you want everybody storming fields, but you had 2 field stormings and big wins. And I don't know how I had off Saturday, but it was good.
3rd and 25 will get underway now from the 13.
See if they play a little defense and run this ball.
Botch the snap, and Donnie St. Jean is all over him to mark him down.
It's going to be a Vineland timeout, right? Yep. Good. You know, that's a weird thing, how some people have presence of mind and know how to run a clock. And Andy Reid, a great coach, it's just not in his, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And then you see things like you need the ball back, and on 1st down, they rush for 8 yards. And then you take a timeout. What are the odds of you stopping them 2 plays without getting the 2 yards? Like, save it till when it gets, So very good timeout there. That saves Vineland 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah, don't even, you're going to pressure, you're going to sit. Pressured.
Good pressure there, and takes a favorable Highland roll to about the 35-yard line. So with 1:27 to go, Vineland's got 35 yards to potentially add on to this 14-0 lead.
Yeah, let's get a little more. I don't know if Coach Guzman's losing weight or it's a miracle hoodie. I got this black one, does that for me. 1st and 10, Fighting Clan. Give to Clark. He's swallowed up, spins a little bit, and he's going to lose a couple. And the clock will continue to run. Maybe I should make shirts like that, and all, not like the ones that are tight and like are harnessing you in like a girdle, but that just have that perfect fall.
Second and 13.
Down to about 40, probably going to put this one up in the air.
They do hand it off to Rayon Carter. Stays on his feet and picks up a 1st down. A flag is down.
Beautiful blocking out front, aggressive stalk blocking.
And they call holding on Vineland.
I don't know about that. The block I called great and aggressive. They're calling a hold on. All right, when I'm king of the world, if you get injured, you can't come back in until that possession is over. If not, the rest of the quarter. Back in the day, if you had cramps like that, you'd hop off like you never wanted to sit down. I know it's different now. We didn't have trainers either. I had an offensive line coach pretending he knew how to tape people and spraying stuff on you. It's so much better for their safety and all now, but there's a little bit of that. I'm going to hobble off this field. I'm not going to sit on it, but they couldn't even do that if they wanted to. No, nope, get down. Let's make sure.
Again, another reminder to you again about halftime.
Everything but wrestling. Wrestling was, there was no blood. You have a minute and a half. So if the doctor's like, I'm not sure about this joint, you got 3 seconds, doc. Can you go? And it's like the medical care can't happen during the encompassment of the 6-minute match. It's a little crazy. See, he'd been DQ'd. That's why I said hop off, or because you can't put your foot down when you have cramps. You know, they're horrible, but. So as we have 31 seconds on the clock, right at the 39, going in for Vineland. And second and about 14.
Carter, the man in motion. Calderon takes the snap, he fires, and completes it to Carter. Not much there after the catch, and Vineland hurrying up to the line.
Dangerous play. It's a long way you're throwing it laterally.
Calderon fires deep, and off the hands of Xavier Diaz. Incomplete with 5 seconds remaining on the game clock.
Would have been a nice tip to catch, tip to each other. Let's do that one more time. Once is never enough. So with 5 seconds, the most dangerous thing to do would be to punt a football here and have something blocked, but you got to free another shot.
And a timeout from Highland.
Timeout, Highland.
I guess you can't bring them back out for the second half.
Johnson's popcorn. Right at the concession stand, located behind the home stands, $15. Make sure you don't miss out on the fun. SGA is selling Johnson's
I haven't had
popcorn.
Johnson's popcorn in a while.
Also, the senior class is selling.
Saw a meme and big smile. It's that feeling of getting that popcorn kernel out of your gum. You do like an hour product. Got it.
Fourth and 14 here for Vineland from the 39. Final play of the half. Calderon scrambles.
Over the line.
Picked off in the end zone. And that'll do it for the
No
half.
flags, and we're there. And like that's the interception that goes on your record when that was the design.
Yeah.
Throw it in the middle of the end zone, about in the middle of the field. He did a great job getting to that spot. No harm on it, but yet it goes down just like a deflected one off a chest plate, goes down. But nice first half by that offense, and of course the defense.
Yes, complete first half there. Hopefully it continues over in the second half. Don't go anywhere. Miss Monogram festivities about to get underway out on the field. Plus our marching band will be performing their field show. And we'll be back for second half action here on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. It's homecoming here at Gittone Stadium.
I'm getting that popcorn.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. It'd be funny. I'm not gonna lie though, right? It would be funny. Yeah. Not in the moment, but like, not good for us.
Clan fans, now entering the field for your listening and viewing pleasure is the 2024 edition of the Vineland High School Marching Clan. The band staff includes band director Mr. Justin Feliciano, brass wind instructor Mr. Eric Sikorsky, brass wind instructor Julia Galdi, drumline front ensemble instructor Mr. Tyler Stenbron, and color guard instructor Miss Mallory Cagnon. The band officers are drum major Angelina M., band captain Kiana M., band lieutenant Nicholas F., band sergeant Jasmine J., and guard captain Lacey B.
It's happened.
Yes, they are 12 huntsmen.
You are mistaken. They are 12 girls.
In the princess's 15th year, she shall prick herself with a spindle and fall over dead.
It shall not be her death. The princess will only fall into 100-year deep sleep. Grandmother, what big ears you have.
All the better to hear you with.
Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have.
All the better to see you with.
Oh, Grandmother, what big hands you have.
All the better to grab you with.
Oh, Grandmother, what a horribly big mouth you have.
All the better to reach you with.
Let's hear it again for Vineland High School Marching Clan and their field show, Grim. The Vineland High School marching clan is about to go to a competition in Monroe Township. Let's give them our best wishes. We know you're going to do it. Vineland High School marching clan, go ahead, do your thing. Okay, here we go. Welcome, alumni and sports fans, to our 74th annual Homecoming Day ceremony, sponsored by the Vineland High School Athletic Department and Student Government Association. Miss Monogram was established in 1950 by Mr. Anthony DeTomo, who was a former VHS athletic director. Homecoming activities have been arranged by Student Government Advisor Ms. Jen Lapsley, assisted by myself, Assistant Principal Brian Newton, and Dr. M, Principal Ms. Debbie Quinn, and Athletic Director Mr. Shifalalio. The halftime ceremonies to honor this year's Miss Monogram and her court will be presented by the Vineland High School marching clan under the direction of Mr. Justin Feliciano. Mrs. Debbie Quinn, Principal of Vineland High School, will present Miss Monogram and her court their awards. Now, let us now welcome our 5 finalists in alphabetical order for Miss Monogram 2024. First of all, we have Miss Tamara Bunton, escorted by Elena Ramirez. Miss Dulce Flores, escorted by Robert Still. Miss Zaria Gould, escorted by Miss Alexis Rodriguez. Miss Kylie Haig, escorted by Luis Antonio Gonzalez. And Miss Alessandra Parrott, escorted by Mr. Jose Cuevas.
Oh yeah, she's walking out with the ones on her feet too. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final voting for this year's Miss Monogram took place this past week in all senior homerooms. And now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the naming of Miss Monogram 2024. Our 4th runner-up is Miss Dulce Flores. Our 3rd runner-up is Miss Tamara Bunton. Our 2nd runner-up, Miss Kylie Haig. Oh boy, here we go. Our first runner-up is Miss Allie Parrott. So that means our Miss Monogram 2024 is Miss Daria Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, again, at this time, let's please welcome our Miss Monogram 2024, Miss Zaria Gould, at her court.
Catch the chicken bounce back, beats on their legs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done. We still got a nice show for you for our cheerleaders. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Kicking off for Vineland, number 40.
And welcome back, everybody. Second half action is now underway here at Gittone Stadium. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa here in the booth with you. Your Fighting Clan with a 14-0 lead, and they are setting up shop on defense as they kick this one away. And congratulations to our new Miss Monogram and everybody that was in the running for Miss Monogram. It's always a fun event every single year. Jose Phoebus was an escort down there, so it's cool to see one of our football players in uniform down there for the escorting of a Miss Monogram candidate. I believe it is Allie Parent. She is one of the phenomenal photographers for this team. She's down there taking photos in her Miss Monogram dress as we speak. The job never stops, Rich.
No, and this job is starting just like it finished. It was like, don't pile on the rabbit on that kick return. Everybody got a piece of it.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 23 here for Highland. Low snap, handed off. Rayon Carter makes first contact and brought down almost immediately. Also want to wish our marching band the best of luck as they perform the first half here, and they're getting set to go to a competition here this afternoon as well. Saturday is that typical competition day for high school marching band, so best of luck to the marching clan, directed by my good pal Justin Feliciano.
Well, like we were saying, what a long day here, competition, and then, of course, homecoming dance tonight.
Cars make their way out with the Miss Monogram contestants as that ball's handed off and taken down almost immediately yet again by that Vineland defense.
Yeah, negative yards for Highland in the first half. I don't recall a first down for them either. So the defense has just been stifling a running back that came in needing 60 yards for 1,000, and he's probably got about -5 on the day. It's like we had to be able to run the football, and we are. Got to be able to stop the run, and we are. Just great improvement.
3rd and 8 here from the 25.
Boom.
Fake the handoff. Pass is complete, and there is that first down, Rich.
Yeah, got a no-hitter going, eh? Boy, what a reverse pivot to a fake handoff and a naked boot roll. There's a lot of deception on that play, but well executed by Highland. Yeah, I was following the fake with the ball carrier.
1st and 10 from the 40.
They're the kind of things you try to do to an aggressive defense. Make them read early and then change it up on them.
Low snap, handed off, and sniffed out immediately. Rayon Carter, Noah Cruz, and I believe Aiden Barriento in on the stop.
Yeah, nowhere to go when he touches the football.
Second and 14. Looking to pass is Highland.
Screen.
And it's complete.
Nice.
Taken down. But there is a flag in. Noah Cruz makes the stop.
Well, again, trying to take advantage of Vineland's aggressiveness. So you run a naked boot on a rollout to a pass, and Vineland overflowed a little bit in a great play. And now this time you're going to run screen. You're going to give them that free rush up there, kind of take them out of the play by themselves, but outstanding job staying home, staying in the middle, and making a tackle. And the officials are facing Highland, so it looks like it's going to be on them.
That it is. They're being pushed back.
Ball about 26. Second down. Second and 19.
2nd and 19 now.
23, excuse me.
Second and 23, actually, from the 26. Low snap. And Noah Cruz bursts through like a pinball straight through that offensive line for the sack.
Well, Vineland sends 2 guys in on a blitz, and they get home before he can do anything. And I quickly turn my eyes to see what was happening in coverage, and they're all blanketed. So not just a great call and blitz and sack, but an outstanding job where you can man people up, and they're all on their spot, all on their mark. Even if that blitz didn't get home, there's nowhere to throw it. Great team defense on that play. Well, they lost all that first down yards. They're gone. They're further back than where they started their drive.
3rd and 33 from the 17-yard line. Handed off. Taken down. Vineland's been fantastic at neutralizing this run game today so far against Highland.
There's been some hard hits out there, too. I mean, they're not pretty sweet tackles. They're aggressive.
So Highland will punt. They gain a yard on that, so 4th and 32.
And this one's probably going to stay on the Tartan side of the field. Great field position upcoming.
High snap over the head. And picked up and rolling into the end zone. They mark it at the 1.
Was that Carter came up with that, I believe.
I believe so.
Let's see if Carter gets to go under center for a little push.
Ball at the 1.
Highland's punting game has been trouble all day. Nothing the punter can do with that one as it sails over his head.
First and goal. Ball spotted at the 1.
Nope, Carter comes out wide to the bottom.
Calderon under center. And a whistle. And it's on Highland. Call encroachment there.
Encroachment on defense.
Ball will be spotted at the half-yard line.
And then the quarter and the 8th and the 16th. Notice that year teaching woodshop. I got all those down good.
And ball's loose.
Oh,
and
boy.
it's recovered by Highland.
Faced with terrible adversity, 1st and goal at the 1. Highland ends up with a turnover. Heard a fan yelling for the safety. You were calling for one earlier.
Seen them do it before. They had 2 in 1 game earlier this season. I believe they have 3 total on the year, if my memory serves me right. Hand it off. A little breathing room for Highland there.
Walker brings the ball out to the 5. Second down.
So they get it to about the 5.
Not sure if you're Highland what you're going to do. You know, it's you don't have any yards. He's lit up in the middle and dropped. Maybe a gain of 1. So 3rd and about 6. All right, let's get it right back. 1 yard away from a touchdown on the attempted punt last time. Defense quickly back out there. Needs to make a stop here to get that field position back. You don't want that negative taste of 1st and goal at the 1.
This one's handed off. Still on his feet, but finally taken down.
So they hold. Here comes the exciting punt. So Mutcherson back to return it. He's standing like at the Highland 30, as they'll be punting this out of the end zone.
And a whistle.
Procedure on the offense. Now it gets tricky when your depth is shortened up. So the ball on the 3, usually a 16-yard drop.
Nearly blocked. Takes a favorable roll. It'll be picked up by Saquon Anderson, who brings it up past the 25. Probably going to be down at about the 25.
By all 11 Highland Tartans, all those nifty moves in there. Does a great job, and the whole Highland team converges. Still had a hard time to get him to the ground. So great field position to get this going. Carter, he's got some room. And he's tripped up, a gain of about 8. Flag comes in.
Ball carrier, is flag on the play.
It's against Vineland.
Holding Vineland.
So the holding call pushed Vineland back a little bit.
My jeans are like on fire from that sun. What's going on? Hot pants. Huh. So we'll do first again, but make it 1st and 12 now, as the hole was downfield quite a ways.
Handed off.
Good stiff arm.
Making his way upfield. George Figueroa III going in untouched for the touchdown. The freshman gets into the end zone here on homecoming afternoon. And Vineland has a 20-0 lead.
Great job. Congratulations on, I believe, the first touchdown for Figueroa.
So.
In high school, that is. I'm sure he has a whole plethora from the junior programs, but great blocking downfield. And another freshman makes a real good block. Not a hold, just stands and sets a pick for him to get in the end zone. Is that Thomas, 21?
Believe so. And it looks like Vineland's going to go for 2 here. Calderon fires to Figueroa. Stays on his feet, but he's taken down. So the 2-point conversion is no good. But with 2:27 remaining in this third quarter, Vineland now leads 20-0.
Figueroa, not the biggest, but you could see the power he generates as he stood up and holding his ground, trying to move forward.
Especially when he gets to full speed, he's somebody you don't want to run into.
There's a couple, we've seen 2 freshman running backs this season that have done very well when they've had the opportunities. You know, Clark got the first two today. He's somebody we've seen for a while, and you know, he's got to be happy that the running game's picking up because he is a dynamic runner. Overcoming pretty much a whole season missed with injury. Sure, at home, Ronnie Temple's like, daggone. We getting some points, getting some yards. I'm missing out on this one. We wish him the best. Hopefully he'll be back next week for us.
This one's popped up in the air. It'll be returned, starting at the 30-yard line, and not much there afterwards as flags fly in.
Nice back suplex.
Mason Afanador.
Great wrestling technique. It's interesting. I mean, they're going to call unnecessary roughness probably, but then when you look at it by the letter of the law, the running back's still on his feet. And instead of tackling, you chose to flip him and drop him on his back. Like, I don't know. Certainly wouldn't have been a flag in the olden days. And you can see all those olden people the way they gimp about, like myself, you know, so it's probably a good thing, but beautiful. Back salt toe, suplex, name it what you want. So those 15 get marched back on Vineland, so good field position here for Highland at the 45. Overall, still in negative yards for the game on offense for Highland. No jinx.
Rolling out, pass completed, but nothing to gain there as Rayon Carter's all over it.
Pass is completed. At the 47, there's a second down and 8 and 2 on the play. Ball is about at the 47.
This third quarter is down to under 2 minutes to go. Highland really not showing any urgency. I can understand why. It's been unsuccessful, everything they've tried.
Rolling out and taken down. That's Barriento on the sack.
Yeah, like he was a little sneaky creeping up the tackle charts. I'm like, oh, look at Barriento's top 5. Oh, back. It's the second time we've called him out for really strong play. Third and 14. What a defensive performance thus far. Looks like with the ball just being made ready for play, that's going to do it for the third quarter here with Vineland up top 20-0.
As we wait for that final buzzer for this third quarter. There it is. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the fourth quarter as Vineland tries to seal the deal here on homecoming weekend. You're watching Varsity Football right here on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel.
Another announcement for you this evening, or this afternoon, excuse me. The winner of our float contest goes to the class of 2026. That's a junior class.
And welcome back, everybody. Fourth quarter action about to get underway here, and we'll start it with a Highland punt.
Some of the most exciting plays of the day is this Highland punt team.
And they get it away right in the hands of Mark Mutcherson. Mutchie stays on his feet, but eventually taken down.
Great effort, Much.
Ball is spot 43. First and 10.
So Vineland will take over on offense with a 20-0 lead. Last touchdown was scored by George Figueroa III. 2-point attempt was no good.
Some of the worst field position for Vineland. Still outstanding at their own 43, but I believe the last three were inside the 40 of their opponent. See if Vineland's just going to grind it out, give it a couple shots with Clark.
Calderon firing deep, has his man, and it is complete. Staying on his feet is Saquon Anderson.
Tough to bring down after. Beautiful pass, way to climb the pocket, step up in it. Calderon, just an outstanding job delivering that strike. Is probably took 2 steps forward to get up deep in that pocket, avoid the rush. It just see great improvement from him every game. And his first games weren't too bad, going 2-0 either. You know, so he's really looked good. And with the competition, as we talked preseason with the quarterback room, how everything is so tight, he's not really given much of an opportunity for anybody else to get it back.
Diaz in motion. This one's handed off. Not much there on the handoff for Clark.
I will say this, Highland defensively does swarm to the football.
Yes.
You know, and we've been really strong with the first guy there, and as we pop away, there's another, and there's another, and then 5 more. So hats off to them for that, the way they rally to the football. You break a tackle, and it's not like you're just gone.
Get Highland to jump.
Flag on play. Encroachment on the defense. Ball spotted at 14.
Calderon rolls, looks to get rid of it, tipped out of bounds. Incomplete. what's neat about, like, whether you need 5 yards to draw them off, but mixing up the cadence stops them from getting that rush and getting off the ball the same time as you, and just to juggle them around, even if you're not looking for an offsides, to stop that defense from getting that early surge. It really helps out the offensive line. Said it before, but under Coach Parentazzi for 3 years, it was dives were on 1, everything else was on 2, and we were all so disciplined. No, we just, it was only 1 play on 2 sides that we went on 1.
Calderon firing to that end zone corner off the hands of Xavier Diaz.
Diaz does a great job pulling the defender out of the way. Didn't draw a flag on himself, which is even better, but even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered because the defender was in position to intercept that, and real smart football play. We're going to try a long field goal. 30-yarder. And, of course, look at the flag. It's blowing in the opposite direction, right in their face again.
Ball spotted. Kick is up. And it's good.
All right. Woof. Great job.
Great kick there for Jonathan Ruger to make it 23-0 Vineland.
You know, and that's experience as Coach Guzman. Then you're showing you have faith in that. You're gaining confidence in it.
And it's a confidence booster for Ruger himself, too, to say, hey, I can go out there and I can kick that. You know, even into the wind, I can make a 30-yard field goal like that and have the confidence as the season rolls along that you have a kicking game to rely on.
That makes Coach Garton feel good, too.
Oh, yeah.
So the kickoffs have been squibbish and pop-up-ish. I don't think there's any reason to change any of that.
Yep.
We've not seen their guys with a football in space at all today.
It's on the ground again. And down at about the 31.5-yard line.
You know, every coach teaches their guys, you know, off your hands or just fall on it. We want the ball. The way the offense is working for Highland or not working today, it's kind of like take your chance, pick it up, see what you can do, because the offense has not had any success versus the Vineland Clan defense. And this is where you got to keep your head in it. You got to stay focused, not just to keep your shutout, but let's not give up some yards. Let's say, not only did we shut them out, they had no offensive yards. Maybe no yards because the kick return game wasn't there. We're popping it up. Total team yards may be at a 0.
Let's hand it off. And eventually.
Yeah, we don't want the football.
Stop there.
We don't want to strip. We just got to tackle.
Looks like Antoine Witt is warming up on the sideline too, so if Vineland does get back out on offense, it could be the Vineland backup quarterback coming in to close out this game. Hand it off again, and not much there.
Nice gang tackle. Coach Shelton signaling in defenses. Did you happen to see the Michigan State sign, that documentary with the guy? That was pretty neat and all legit. Like, It's like weird in baseball. You're supposed to try to steal them without any help from anything, but then all of a sudden, college football, if you're smart enough to have a guy decode everything, more power to. Didn't he have a neat name too? I forget what it was.
Connor Stallions.
Stallions. Yep.
I know he's coaching a school in Michigan, and they are not great at football.
So third down here, 3rd and 5, probably the closest third down for them. Only one first down for Highland today.
And they get the hard count. Let's make that 2 first downs.
It's going to make it, isn't it? Yep. It was a loss of 25 yards after the last first down they had, though.
Handed off. And right into a wall. Vineland defenders. Ball's on the ground. Highland falls on it.
Loss of 6. Yeah, we're getting it.
Coach Donovan Bennett not happy that his defense didn't fall on that ball.
Second down. Second about 15 yards to go for the first.
This Highland team beat Clearview 36-6. So although they've not done much on offense, it's because of our defense, and they have been outstanding all day long.
Handed off again. And another big-time stop. Mark Mutcherson in there to make that initial contact and tackle.
Ball carried from 40 to the 43. It's a third down, 30 yards to go. The ball spotted at 43.
Cherry Hill West will be facing soon, and they lost to Cherry Hill West 14-6.
Ball snap, looking to throw. Being chased, tackle taken down. Omar Davis with the hit. Aiden Barriento comes up with the football. And Vineland secures a turnover there.
And they got them first down yards back. It's a great job starting at the 33.
A great hit by Omar Davis. And it looks like Calderon's day is done. It's Antoine Witt in at quarterback. I believe this is his 3rd or 4th appearance this season. As he lines up under center. Hands it off to Charles Clark. Stays on his feet around the outside. Charles Clark picks up a first down and more down inside the 20.
We got to see a little bit of Clark's speed there, outrunning some pursuit and then finishing forward, diving into contact. And quickly back up to the ball, 1st and 10.
They'll hand it off, but Highland swarmed in there to make the stop.
And one of the players almost had his hand in his belt and couldn't shake him loose. So we're down over halfway through with 5:35 and running.
The second 11. Ball will be spotted at 21.
I used to get mad when they take you out because you're winning. It's like, I worked all week, man.
Under 5 minutes to go now.
See, I get the first priority is team win. The second priority is for me to have better numbers than everybody else on my team. And that's just the kind of athlete I tried to be. You know, not that you did it, but I miss out on a couple sack attempts here.
Witt hands that one off. Stumbling there. Was Clark. Figueroa, the third, is coming on the field. Charles Clark said, no, go back to the sideline. I'm staying in.
Mentioned a one-score game with Highland and Cherry Hill West, and that's where we will be, 6 o'clock on the 25th.
Witt looking to pass. Pump fakes. He's going to keep it himself on the ground. And Witt's taken down.
Go for it. Go for it.
Fourth down now.
Good job. Offense stays in.
4th and 12.
You converted that last field goal. This one a little further. And it's like, don't lose the momentum you got in your special teams and the kicking. You know, nothing good can come of it. You got to Costanza it, like just like they're doing. Leave them on a high note.
Witt rolls out, firing towards the end zone, and it's picked off inside the 5. Rayon Carter makes the tackle.
Not a smart football play. And I see this in the NFL and in college too. It's 4th down. Coach Parentizzi would have knock it down if it's back there, knock it down. So that gentleman gets his interception. But now the offense that has struggled moving the ball starting at the 2 instead of out at the 34, wherever we were at. Like, not good football.
Play.
Yeah. Is that how young people say it in 3 words instead? That's nice. I like that. I'll be using that. And if that happened on our team, we would be yelling at the guy afterward. Maybe hide his cleats the next day at practice for a while.
See if Vineland can get another safety here.
They might have just done it. Safety.
Whole lot of Vineland defenders in on that play. Not too sure who made the initial contact, but it looked like it might have been Rayon Carter.
Ooh. I can hear it now. That's why you don't. Oh. A little more color in that one.
So with 2:58 to go, it is 25-0 Vineland.
Safety, field goal, missed 2-point conversion. Put them all together, are we getting near a scoregami?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, that was this year. We had one earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if this outcome holds true, Coach Guzman will improve to 2-0 on homecoming games as head coach of Vineland High School football.
Well, soon it starts to be a thing where, you know, we were talking the Andy Reid off of bye stuff,
Yep.
and now you got the Goose off of bye. That's what's nice about playing that week 0. You know, it's a rough start, but there is that hit pause and regroup that you get.
picked up, brought across midfield. Staying on his feet is Saquon Anderson and finally taken down inside Highland territory. And even for Vineland, they had 2 scrimmages prior to that week 0 game as well. So week 0 was almost like week 3 in their books.
Man, I'll tell you, Highland is so aggressive tackling, though. Like, you would think with the offense doing what it's doing for them and the scoreboard like it is, but if not for their tenacity and getting to the football, we would have a heck of a lot more points because they're not able to bring us down right away.
There's a Highland player down by the Vineland sideline.
Looks like he's going to be down there for a little bit. We're going to step away for a break, and we'll be right back with first down.
Number 24 on the carry, there's a flag on the play.
See what the flag is on there.
Really no complaints with the officiating today. Not that you want to have them, but they've done a nice. That's the coach way of saying they did a nice job. No real big complaints with.
That one's on Vineland. And we're allowed to talk about the officials, unlike Tom Brady.
So a couple people decided to try to help out and hold a little bit. They accept a second of the holding penalties.
First and 20, ball beside 43.
First and 20.
What are we doing here?
And false start on Vineland.
False start Vineland. First and 25.
So some new faces in there, but some old ones too. And anytime you change your signal caller, the tempo of the call, the cadence is a little different.
First and 25 now for Vineland.
Ball play recovered by Vineland. Ball's expired on 45.
You heard that ball get put in the breadbasket. It was fumbled on the exchange and rolled right up the field, and he just stayed with it.
True freshman on this team, Carlton Thomas.
That was crazy last Saturday, a true freshman in that setting. That's crazy.
2nd and 18 from the 45. Fanador in motion. Witt takes the snap, hands it off. It's Carlton Thomas.
Boy, nice looking play, especially with new faces, to run a counter in that tight of a formation. Executed very well by everyone. Witt does a perfect job with it.
So under a minute to go.
Penalty yards are back, all but one, 3rd and 11.
Witt hands it off, but met immediately is Carlton Thomas by the Highland defense. That was probably the last play of this game.
Well, as they count that down, let's just talk for a moment about this game. You know, Highland comes in with a running back with 940 yards. Got a big nothing. You know, it looked like a big mismatch when the concern coming in was Vineland rushed for 2 yards in their last game. They have to be able to run the ball, and they did it very well. Then the defense gave up 234 yards rushing last game, and they gave up no yards allowed. A net 0. A fantastic job on both sides of the ball, and being a former Big Dumb lineman, great job today. An outstanding job in pass blocking, rush blocking, and on defense. Freeing yourself up to make some plays to shut down that back, because if you're not there clogging holes, getting your right depth, and sliding where you need to, then it's one-on-one with your backers, who are fantastic, but that's where you're getting that 3 or 4 yards. I think I only saw one dive that got over 3 yards all day. A fantastic job on both sides of the ball and on special teams. Even though they wouldn't kick it to us real deep, our punt return team was great. We had a nice field goal. We were perfect with extra points that were kicked. Just an outstanding job. This team is much better than what we've seen. They've shown what they can do, and just hats off to the players and the coaching staff as we get ready for Cherry Hill West.
A complete game coming out of the bye, and now a new record for shutouts in a season in the Coach Guzman era. Last season, Vineland finished with 3 shutouts. This is their 4th on the season, and now Coach Guzman improves to 2-0 on homecoming games in his head coaching career. So congratulations to the Fighting Clan. Once again, a 25-0 win here at Gittone Stadium. Final game of the regular season on the schedule next week at Cherry Hill West, 6 o'clock p.m. start. Can't wait for that one as Vineland looks to build off of this win with another one. Thanks for tuning in, everybody at home. Big thank you to Doug Diola and our entire production team for making today's broadcast happen. Once again, your final score, 25-0, Fighting Clan with a homecoming day victory. For Rich Scarpa, I'm Kyle Bennett. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and as always, go Vineland.